You have something special. You have greatness in you. I want you to like this page and share it. I got a message for you. There's something been on my mind I want to share with you on this beautiful, beautiful day. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to think about the fact that this is the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. And I want you to think about finishing strong and preparing for 2023. And something that I'm encouraging you to do, and I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to ask yourself some questions. And just about three. One of them, where you are right now. Is it what you anticipated when you started the year off? Is it in alignment with your resolutions? Because if you follow what I'm going to share with you, if you are willing to give up who you've been, the negative people, the thoughts, and the choices that's produced what you now have, if it does not measure up to your level of expectation, and you know, as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different outcome. If you want to create a different outcome, you got to do some things differently. You got to change some relationships. You got to do what Celeste Johnson say, Operation Clean Slate. You got to get some people out of your life. You got to come out from among the people where you are. You know, people who earn 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000 a month don't hang out with people who earn $5,000 and $7,000 a month. No, you got to upgrade your relationships. One of the things when I began to understand the statement, come out from among them, I left Miami in a Greyhound bus. I had too many poor people in my life. Okay, family members and friends. I had to get out of there. Why? God said to Abraham, get up and go to a new land. Sometimes you've got to change where you are. A place, you got a place that is your place. Trust me on this. The things that I've accomplished, I would have never accomplished those things in Miami. I had to go to some other place. You have a divine place. And there are certain relationships you'll never, ever do anything with those people. Why? Because they're not the one. Where you are is your rightful place, where your thoughts, your thinking, and your choices have brought you. Where you can be is your true place. Come on, somebody. I'm coming. Just slow down. Just slow down. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's this fourth quarter. And so you want to look at your life and say, wait a minute, what got me here? Because you don't want to get to the end of 2022 and say, oh my God, I didn't do all the things that I was capable of doing. No. Evaluate, because there are certain places, there are certain choices, there's certain behaviors, there's certain people that you just don't need to be a part of your life. Let me give you an example in my own life. Like, for instance, I got up this morning and I take the medication that they had placed me on. Notice I didn't say my medication. I'm not claiming it. The medication they put me on. My goal before the end of the year is to be off all medication. What major goal do you have before the end of the year so that you can look back and say that 2022 brought out the best in you? I'm not asking you to have 4 and 5 different things that you're focused on. I'm just saying to you and just requesting what major area of your life. In mine, I'm focusing on my health, mine making cancer history, mine getting off all this medication. I've been able to get off my insulin. Why? Because I'm focused. I want you to put down focus. Focus on one thing that's important to you, one thing that will make a dramatic difference in your life, one thing that when you accomplish that, you can pat yourself on the shoulder and say, I've done good. Because at the end of the day, life is about choices. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. But most of us, and I'm using myself as an example, for a long time, I was just coasting toward an accelerated end. I just decided I'm going to be mindful. I don't want to take medication for the rest of my life. I don't want to be sticking myself for the rest of my life. Then what are you going to do about it? I dramatically began to focus and tune everything else out, saying my health is my wealth. That sounds nice, rhymes, nice. And I'm backing it up with action. I'm mindful of what I eat. I'm mindful of my state of mind. I'm mindful of my peace. What is it you're going to do? What differently? How are you going to show up? We're in the fourth quarter. And I want you to write this down. It's time to close chapters and turn the page. Come on, somebody. Yes, it's time. There's some chapters you need to close. They've gone beyond their expiration date. Some people come in your life for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. And when I made a list of the people that I communicate with, there's some calls I don't take anymore. Why? Because it's a gimme call. Yeah. That if you look at it, the majority of your calls are gimme calls. There's a limited number of people saying, hey, I got something for you. Just look at the ratio. Look at it. Evaluate it. There are people who are always there when they need you. Life ain't playing with us, and we don't need to be playing with life. Come on, I'm telling you, I'm not making this stuff up. Life is for laughing, loving, and living. It doesn't have to be all that complicated. I'm telling you, this is the time you don't want people who get on your last nerve and stress you out being around you or in your ear. Come out from among them. And don't try to change them. A person changed against their will is of the same opinion still, that they are okay just as they are. You have no right to weigh in on how they live their lives. I don't care if it's your children or your family members, friends. No, people got a choice. That's what God has given us all, a choice. And their choices, a friend of mine, Patricia Wingard out of Columbus, Ohio, their choices and consequences. Listen to me. Listen to the old rascal. Yes, I've been on the planet for 77 years. I know some stuff. Now listen, I'm looking for some people. I'm looking for the few. This is not for everybody. I'm just looking for the few. You know what I decided to do? What did you decide to do? I'm going to build a culture of greatness. People who have goals and dreams, people who want to do something dramatically different with their lives, who want to finish the year strong, people who want to get a jump start on 2023, people who have things that they want to accomplish to improve their health, improve their relationships, get a game plan and a blueprint on how they can begin to bring out the greatness in them. If that's you, touch the link above. That's all. It's not for everybody. It's because, see, and here's something that we must learn to do, and it's not easy. Learn how to become an observer. I've learned how, and it took some time because they call me an empath. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, won't participate in their own rescue. I have a friend, I did some videos on people who've made dramatic changes in their lives and who had lost a lot of weight, and they had instructions on how they did it. So I said this to a friend of mine, weigh over 400 pounds. You know she asked me, Are you calling me fat? I said, no. I didn't call you nothing. I just sent you some stuff that I thought maybe that you might be interested in. No, I did not call you fat. And I'm saying to myself, did this person ask me that question? This person who came to my house and sat in the chair, and the chair broke and said, oh, hell no. The chair broke. The chair said, what the hell's going on here? I'm sorry. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, you can't make this. Anywho. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm having a hot flash. I call it my power surge. So if you like to have fun, if you want to learn how I earned my first million against all odds, you ever hear politicians talk about the middle class? They never talk about the 1%. They don't want you to become the 1%. I'm a part of the population who's earned over $1 million. That's just 1% of the population who's done that. I've done that. You come into the community, if you give me 1 year with you, see, your network, and George Frazier said this best, your network determines your net worth. Did you hear what I just said? Your network determines your net worth. And when you're in a community with me, with like-minded people that are focused on their dreams and improving themselves, people who are tuning out the negative, toxic behavior and people that will compromise your power. We have energy, all of us. That energy, if you don't use it well, it will work against you. If you use it well, it will help you to take responsibility for your life and create the kind of life that you're proud of. I'm telling you what I know. And if that's you, come on, join me. Can we see the comments? You can put that down now. You see comments? Have them ask me some questions about something. So if you got a story and you want to be a part of the community, because we're going to share with you strategies and how to tell your story, how to monetize your story, how I got from zero to hero. I love these little things that rhyme. They are so cute. Whatever. If you want to learn techniques and strategies and how you can become more influential and impactful in your style of communication, if you want to learn how to talk to the world, I can teach you how to do that. I've been around the world, and all I had going for me was my story. And if you're ready to do something with your story, make a difference, push humanity forward, a story that can help people understand that where they are does not have to become their destiny. Push the link and join my community, the Les Brown Greatness Community. Yes, it's going to dramatically change your income, change the quality of your life. You're going to upgrade your relationships, and you're going to let some relationships go. Why? Life is like an elevator. The higher you go up, you have to stop and let some people off because they don't want what you want. They don't dream like you dream. I remember in Chicago, I used to give this lecture at Christ Universal Temple Church, and I saw this guy come, and his wife was seated on one side, and he was on the other. And I asked him, I said, man, I said, why aren't you over there with your wife? He said, well, she left me because she said, I don't want anything. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, as I was approaching her, she said, I heard what he said. She said, I didn't leave him because he didn't want anything. I left him because he wasn't willing to do the things necessary to grow so we can create a different kind of life than what we had. He'd settled for where we are. And I know we can do better. He's smart, he's intelligent, but he doesn't have hunger. He doesn't have drive. He doesn't have perseverance. He doesn't want any more than what we now have. And I don't want to settle for that. I know we can do better than this. And I'm tired of arguing. Have you ever just got tired of arguing with someone that's supposed to be leading you, and they're in the back doing nothing but the same thing over and over and over again? Have you ever looked at where you are and just said, this is not me? That's what I did in Miami, in Liberty City, Overtown. I just said, look, Good Bread Alley and Bucket the Blood, the expressway goes through that now, that's gone. I just said, there's gotta be more. Let me see some signs, let me see some fire. Have you ever said there's got to be more? I remember cleaning homes and cleaning apartments on Miami Beach. And I just said, one day I'm going to be able to stay here, not just come over here to clean up. Woo! And I've stayed in several places, several condos, hotels, and whatsoever you can think of. See, life is about having the courage to make your life a daring adventure. Live before you die. Life ain't playing with us. Decide that you're going to take life on. Stormy, I like to refer to her as Dr. Stormy Wellington. She had an event this past weekend for women. Girl, hold my hand. And it was an eye-opener. It was one that caused the women there to dream a bigger dream. Most people don't have any dreams at all. They're just working to survive. What it takes to live and what it is required for surviving are two different things. These are people who said, I'm taking a chance on me. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I'm going to walk by faith and not by sight. I'm reaching for the greater in me. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I'm willing to upgrade my relationships. I'm willing to step away from the life that I've been living so that I can begin to create the life that I deserve. Have you ever seen people and you ask yourself the question, how can they live like that? Here's what I learned. When you stay in a toxic, negative environment over a long period of time, you have to ask yourself the question, what kind of person have I become because of this? Because that abnormal environment will become your new normal. You stay there long enough, you won't even realize at some point in your life you'd have found that repulsive. I had an apartment that I had near the airport, and I rented it from a friend of mine, Jackie Collier. And I said, girl, I can't stay here. Listen to these airplanes coming over constantly. She said, you stay here long enough, I guarantee you won't hear it. She did not lie. And people who would come visit me say, how can you stay here? And these airplanes flying constantly, don't you hear it? And I said, no. Because I'd been there so long, I had tuned it out. You can be in an abusive relationship so long that it becomes your new normal. You can be in a situation and an environment that's beneath you, and you be there so long that it becomes you. It's one thing to be in something, it's something else when that something gets in you. The only people that can hear me are the people who said, in their heart of hearts, and where your heart is, there your treasures also, I can do better than this. If that's you, if you're on fire to go to another level, push the link on above. You just give me 1 year with your life, and I guarantee you, you'll never be the same again. No, I owe it to you. I owe it to you. I know, I don't know how much time I have left, but I know God did not have me to be born and preserved for such a time as this, just to go to my grave and take everything I've learned with me. He who has ear, let him hear, let her hear. I'm just speaking to the few. Did you hear me? I am speaking to the few.
I want to talk to you about, I want to get into some of your some of the biggest things that made a difference for you in your life. But before I do that, I want to talk about, just for a moment and touch on what's going on in the world. What's going on in the world, how important it is for us to be communicating to each other respectfully and listening more than we throw our opinions around, trying to understand each other, trying to, whether it's Corona or what's going on with the police issue and racial issues here in the United States. I'm kind of the opinion, and I really want to hear your opinion more than mine, but I'll just tell you this. Our news today is very little news and it's lots of opinion. Every show's an opinion show, and they bring on a panel, what's your opinions? And they bring on another panel, what's your opinions? And they bring on another panel, what's your opinions? And all the news is all opinions. Everybody's just throwing around opinions. And then social media, everybody's got their own little channel, and they're all throwing around their opinions. And everybody's looking for people whose opinions line up with the opinions that they have personally. And I'll speak for myself. I'm consciously trying to listen more than I'm trying to throw my opinions around. I'm trying to understand more than I'm trying to be understood. I'm trying to be aware of circumstances that I may have never experienced, but if I become aware and I listen more than I throw around my opinions, maybe I can learn something. And you and I talked about this earlier. I think change is going to come with our children and their children, and trying to educate people on how to live a good life and to be a good neighbor. So with that, Les, what's your opinion on everything that's going on?
The challenges that we are facing are created by people, and they can be changed by people. And the secret is to maintain commitment through all the frustrations, through all the disappointments, through all the setbacks that we will encounter in working to change the way in which we show up as human beings and how we interact with each other. And it's a part of the process. All transformation is what we're going through right now. It's major and it's been around, and so we can't become discouraged. 45 years ago, I was fired for editorializing on five policemen beating an African-American Vietnam veteran while he was holding his baby in a restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. It was called the Kayinki incident. And his wife, she became so enraged and just became like superhuman. And she defeated those policemen, 5. She must have weighed 125 pounds soaking wet. And they called for backup. And they handcuffed her arms behind her back and her legs, and they drove her down Broad Street and pulled off on Champion Avenue. And when they were having a change of shifts, they took turns going in and beating her in the back of the van. A guy named Tom Catron, he was a white patron that was there who happened to listen to my radio show and called me and told me about it, and then I talked about it on the air. And here we are again, same issue, been going on for years. And we are not given the luxury of giving up, of becoming frustrated, or just being angry. Anger is a wind that blows out the lamp of the mind. Or just getting together and saying, oh, ain't it awful? And then after the emotions die down, let everything go back to where it was. It's created by people. We must be eternally and perpetually optimistic and know that it can be changed by people. Will it happen as soon as we want it to happen? No. It takes time. And we must not become frustrated or discouraged and keep our commitment to our commitment in creating a better world. All transformation that takes place on the planet, it takes time. and you must be steadfast and be like our good friend Og Mandino said, in The Greatest Salesman in the World. We must persist until we succeed.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what I think everybody would agree that the world should have a foundation of fairness. And in order to do that, we need accountability. In order to do that, there needs to be consequences for negative actions. In order to do that, we have to go back to caring about our neighbor, as much as we care about ourselves, and people who look different than us, and people who maybe have different beliefs than us. That's okay to be able to have those. It's okay. If everybody was exactly the same, the world would be a boring place. To celebrate our differences, to embrace each other, and to be able to move forward.
When I was as a result of my doing that editorial about that police brutality case, I was fired. But Helen Keller said that when one door closes, another door opens. But most of us spend so much time and energy talking about the closed door, we don't take advantage of the open door. And had that not happened, had I not been fired, I would have never became a state legislator and been able to pass legislation that will have a broader impact than being a radio personality, or becoming a talk show host, or becoming a motivational speaker and going around the world to influence people. And so I think that what's most important for us to realize, evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Something happened in 2007. Time magazine said the computer is the person of the year. And a lot of people wondering, why did they say that? Well, when you look at what's going on right now, were it not for the computer and people getting in social media, we would not know about it. Because after the Rodney King beating and the riots that took place, television executives agreed not to ever show any riots or any kind of chaos that took place after law enforcement acted unprofessionally. So now here's an opening. Here's the reason why. Because when people when they saw a man begging for his life, begging for his mother who had been dead 2 years ago, that impacted people not just here, but around the world. Were it not for the internet, most people would not know about that. And so now this evil that has been going on for a long time, evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Well, you can't act on something if you don't know about it. Well, this, as a result, there will be some broad scale transformation taking place and legislation that's going to be introduced, and how law enforcement has been looked at. It takes 1,500 hours to become a barber. It takes 850 hours to become a policeman. And you have the opportunity to be a judge, jury, and executioner. You can take somebody's life. Even a doctor who goes to school for 12 years in some cases can't just take a life. But a policeman can take a life and say, oh, he had a threatening stance, or I thought he was reaching for a gun, or he was running, and even though I shot him in the back, but I thought he was going to turn around and try and shoot me. So that's why I shot him in the back 4 times. Or the kid that was shot in Chicago 16 times, or the young lady, Brianna, that was shot 8 times while she was in bed in her home and the police came in. And no charges have been filed against those guys. And so, or the situation where a young African-American male was in his apartment, a white police officer, she went in his apartment and she said she made a mistake, but she killed him. And she said she thought he was in her apartment. They sentenced her to 9 years. An African-American male who killed a police dog, he was sentenced to 40 years. 40 years, okay? So when you think about all the things that's going on now, they will continue unless people of conscience become involved. Unless, I saw a sign that says, silence produces violence. A lady flew in from Australia for me to train her how to speak from her heart. I said, why did you come to me? She said, I saw you speaking in the Georgia Dome, and you gave a speech called It's Not Over Till You Win. And she said, I was struck on how you spoke from your heart in that big forum, and I felt it. She said, can you teach me how to do that? So I said, yes. And then I said, but what do you want to do with it? She said, I believe the world is hateful and divisive and violent, not because there are not enough people that care, but because too many people are silent. And so now what we see, and I think the internet contributes to it, and the corona diet, the coronavirus has contributed to it. Yeah, that people got a chance to think. And they said, you know what? This is wrong. And I'm going to become an active force in correcting this. There are white people who called me and said, I did not know. I had no idea. I believe there's good in the worst of us and bad in the best of us. And when you see the number of white people, and particularly young people, that's participating and to create a better world, that's heartwarming. That they're saying, no, this is wrong. No. That's a human being. That you had your knee on his neck with your hand in your pocket while he was begging for his life, and 3 of your comrades who were hired by taxpayers to serve and protect watched as he died. No, that's wrong. And we're going to speak out against that. And when something happens, as I was talking to you, 3 things happen. There's the perpetrator, there's the victim, and there are the witnesses. And the question was asked, what's the worst? And the answer is the witnesses, the people who stand by and watch and say nothing. Either one of those cops could have said, come on, man. It's 4 of us. He's handcuffed. He can't go anywhere. We got him. We don't have to kill him. It's a $20 counterfeit bill. Come on, man. Give him a break. It's a human being here. They didn't do that. They pushed a 75-year-old man down, 75-year-old white man, bleeding from his head. One of the cops, human instinct, wanted to pick him up. The guy that was leading the platoon said, no, keep walking. And then they lied. They said, well, he tripped. Well, fortunately, because of the computer, because of the cameras, it was captured, they lied. The only people that lie as much as Donald Trump are policemen. They got the record. I think that Donald Trump is number 2 to them. They've told more lies, and the reason that they're the worst liars, because people go to prison because of their lies. People go to death row because of their lies. People have their lives taken from them, and families are shattered and broken because of their lies. And so we have to ask ourselves, what did I do? Was I a witness while I was there on the planet? What role did I play? Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. In the middle of a surgery, it looks like a murder, but on the other end, there's a healing. This does not come to stay. It's come to pass. We will get through this. We will be stronger and better because of this, going into this process than when we came up. And just look at it. All at the same time, God is in the midst of this. I strongly believe, how are you going to have the coronavirus, the most disruptive experience with any disease that ever hit the planet in my lifetime? I'm 75. I've never seen anything like this. I'm in a room, as I told you, by myself, sneezed and ran out. And I said, wait a minute, that's my sneeze. And I still got some Lysol and start spraying around the house. Okay. So how does that happen? Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. George Floyd and the coronavirus at the same time, and people have to stay home, and they see it on the internet. Whoa, those things coming together. That's going to change how we see this moving into the future. It cannot be denied. It cannot be disputed. Those 8 minutes and 42 seconds jarred the world. People around the world, Berlin, Sweden, England, all around the world said no, that there's a human component here. Human beings said. Now, we got some radicals that said, oh, it don't matter. But the majority of people said, this is undecent. This is indecent. No. I'm one of those people call me a one. I can't kill an animal. I could never shoot a deer. I mean, who would want to kill Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Who would want to do that? Let me tell you something. This has nothing to do with the subject. I had a duck, and his name was David. And I was about fourth grade. David the Duck. And my brother, he had no qualms in killing a duck or a chicken. He would pull their heads off. I couldn't do it. I came home and we had dinner, and then later I went outside to feed David. So Wesley was laughing, my twin brother. I said, what are you laughing about? David! Hey, David! I'm just calling David, looking for him, right? He said, Leslie, you don't have to call David. I said, why? He's in your stomach.
No.
What do you mean? That's exactly what I said. No. Yeah. We cooked David. Oh my God. No, you didn't. No, you didn't cook David. Oh God. And he thought it was funny. Other brothers and sisters, they laughed. Man, I was sick for about 5 days. I ate David. That's cruel. Who does that?
Messed up.
There's some crazy people in this world.
Well,
They're crazy people. And when he was killed, I cried. And they said, it's just a dog. It wasn't just a dog. It was my dog, my friend.
Right.
Yeah.
People say things become important when they become personal. It's when somebody in your family, when somebody that you love, when somebody that you touch experiences something, then it becomes important. You and I talked about this earlier today when we were chatting, is my hope for the police department, because there's so many amazing police officers out there doing an incredible job to protect and serve, that there is more accountability for people who overstep, that there are consequences for people who overstep, and there are systemic, whether it's training, communication, everything else. But and I think we're headed towards that. At least I hope we're headed towards that.
I think so. My brother-in-law was in police office for 30 years. Yeah. And Alex, he said to me, I said, Alex, why don't you guys tell on the bad guys? He said, Les, those guys I work with. This guy that we arrested, I see him get the hell beat out of him. He's a stranger. If I tell that I witnessed my partner beat this guy up and treated him inappropriately. If I get a jam and my life is on the line and I call for backup, guess what, Les? I said, what? They're not coming. They're not coming. And I can lose my life if I don't have the support. So one of the things that I propose is that they have a whistleblower, a confidential whistleblower program where cops who are decent human beings can, if there are situations where they can tell without being exposed or found out, that they can do so confidentially without putting their lives on the line. So there's a reason for the blue shield, the silence, the cover up and look the other way. So I understand what's going on with that.
For folks that are here and watch this conversation that say, absolutely, I agree, I want better, I know I deserve better, but I've been in this position that I'm in here for a little while. How do I start this process? I see the vision on where I could be, but I'm here right now. What say you? What happens tomorrow? What's a practical thing that folks can do when they get up?
Is don't do what you just did. When you and your friend got together and you had a vision of manifesting this, you had no one to go and talk to and ask, how do we do it? This place, this concept did not exist. Our favorite book says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So you have to just make the commitment. Nothing happens until you make the commitment. Nothing works until you work. You put in the work for this to take place. And let's use work as an acronym. W, the willingness to do what's required. The willingness to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. The O stands for ownership mindset. You created a place, a space. Space is very important because God made a space for us before he made us. He didn't just make us and had us dangling in the air. We need a space that we can come to that allow us to create a community so that we can begin to take each other to a place in ourselves that we can't go by ourselves. That's what Mr. Washington did for me on that particular day. The R stands for reinvent yourself. That thinking that got you here won't serve us in this new environment. We're in this place where Peter Drucker said that we must be willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn so that we can navigate where we are right now. And the K stands for kindred spirits, that when you are around people that's going in the direction of where you are going, that what it does is it challenges you. It creates a synergy. It allows you to do things that you could not do by yourself because of the relationships that you're around that hold you accountable to a higher standard. I met a young man named Mike Williams, and I wish all of you write this down. He wrote a book called The Road to Your Best Stuff. And you look so much like the young Mike Williams. And he was my newsman. I was a disc jockey at WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. He saw this Les Brown before I saw this Les Brown. He was my newsman. He said, Brownie. I said, yeah. He said, man, you can do more than be a disc jockey. It's very important for you to have someone, and this is the value of the gathering spot, a positive connection that will believe in you until your belief kicks in. And I said, come on, Mike. I couldn't imagine what he told me I could do. He said, man, you can change people's lives around the world. I said, are you kidding me? At that time, I was LB Triple P, Les Brown, your platter plant popper. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction, a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. And so he saw this dude, and I'm thinking,
I would have seen him too.
I'm a disc jockey, man. And I said, what do you think I can do other than this? I thought, have you ever had somebody see something in you that you didn't see in yourself? Yeah, and he said, Les, I see you going to these seminars and these workshops. He said, I hear you quoting Malcolm and Dr. King all the time. He said, what's in them, it's also in you. I was Les Brown, the man about town at that particular time. And I said, what you talk about, Willis? But he worked with me. We're still together to this day. And he helped me to begin to see what he saw. And it was a process.
When did you see it for yourself?
It was an ongoing process, but I think that the deciding moment was when I spoke in the Georgia Dome. There's a video that's on the internet. Millions of people have viewed it, called It's Not Over Till You Win. And the guy that invited me, Dexter Yeager, he did not like me at all. He'd never had a black person on his stage as a motivational speaker. He had a choice of Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. And he asked me, do you know why I asked you to come? I said, why? He said, because I need someone who can command this audience. I said, oh. And he said, I don't like you. And I didn't ask him why. I had to remember why I was there. And I just kept thinking, if he's chosen me to do this, I'm not interested in getting into an argument with this dude, okay? Mike Williams said, Brownie, keep the main thing the main thing. So he said, I don't like niggers. And as I was sitting there, Liberty City was about to come out. And I remember something that Mike told me. He said, anger is a wind that blows out the lamp of the mind. I decided not to get angry. And I didn't answer and I didn't respond. And I know he wanted a response from me. He said, but there's something about you. You speak from your heart. And I need someone to command this audience. And you don't speak from your head, you speak from your heart. And you've come from some hard times. And you are the one to do this job today. I said, thank you very much. And I was frightened. I thought they brought me there to speak to 500 people in a dining room area. And the guy said to me, you Les Brown? I said, yes. Man, what is it like to speak to 80,000 people? I said, I don't know. You don't know? I said, no. He said, come here a minute. So he took me, he said, look out there. You see those people there? I said, yes. He said, that's who you're speaking to. I said, to them? He said, yes, all white audience. I took off and started running down the hall. He said, where are you going? I said, to the bathroom, but it's number 1. So they called Mike and said, Les is in the bathroom and he won't come out, because I couldn't hear the voices in my head. And he said, Brownie, you're scared, aren't you? I said, yes. Brownie, can you hear me? I said, yes. I said, Mike, it's 80,000 people. I've never spoke to an audience that large before. He said, so what? They came to hear you. You didn't come to hear them. I said, Mike, oh my goodness, I can't hear the voices. He said, Brownie, just remember these words: distract, dispute, and inspire. He said, do it for your mother. I said, man, don't use my mama against me. He said, you always said you wanted to buy her home. If you make this happen, man, this will be a big deal. People around the world will see this, and it will be a deciding point in your speaking career. Do it for your mother. She's going to tell the neighbors about it. She's going to say, that's my boy. I'm so glad that I adopted them. And I said, okay. I came out and started walking toward the stage. And when I went up the steps, he looked at me and he said, you got this. And I said, you believe in me, Mike? He said, yeah. You can do this. I said, thank you, man. Because I never had a father. He's just 2 years older than me. But he's like a father said to his son, you can do this. And I felt it in my heart. And I took that microphone and I went out there and I wore him out.
Look,